Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by John. We're gonna have a little baby number 5 Q&A with you guys. So I asked you guys in my last baby update video and then also on Instagram if you guys had any questions for John, and you guys had quite a few questions. So I'm gonna go with the questions that I got asked most often.
Awesome.
For baby number 5. So
excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah, super stoked.
Yeah. All right, so without further ado, here we go. Okay, so first question, of course, we got like 7,000 times. I was not going to tease you guys. I just had to wait. I had to have the blood test this time because we were checking so many different things at the beginning of this pregnancy. So we did find out early on what the gender was, but I didn't want to say anything until we got the ultrasound done, which I had a scheduling delay, so I didn't schedule it until almost 24 weeks. So we just got that done, and it's no, just watch her. Ready?
Justy, look.
Come on, Sadie, go. What is it?
Is it a girl? Is it a girl? Oh my gosh!
It's a girl.
It's a girl. We're so excited. Mostly excited for Annabeth, who was only willing to accept a little sister, I would say. So, how do you feel about that?
Really excited. I wanted another girl.
He did. He had no poker face when it came to...
I love my boys.
Yeah.
The ones that I have.
But yeah, he definitely was really hoping for a little girl. So,
Yeah.
And then let's see. Do either of you feel overwhelmed at the thought of 5 kids, and what advice can you give?
No. Honestly, I think it was the step of 2 to 3. Everyone probably always says that, but once we had 4, it was just like, just keep them coming.
What's 12 more?
You know? No, advice? Dude, honestly, it's just trusting God and whatever he has planned for. It sounds like such a Sunday school answer, but like we find our rest and our peace in Jesus, you know? So parenting is very difficult and exhausting, of course, but we've embraced the fact that we're full-time parents. And once you do that, I feel like it's a little easier to just accept another one, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And that sounded kind of like so bland, just accept another one. I mean, like, we really wanted another one too.
Yeah.
So we had the desire for a large family, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, the only answer I have to that is advice is just making sure that you definitely, like practical, make sure you have time for each other.
Yeah.
Set apart time to invest in each other and to slow down and take time for yourself. As difficult as that is.
What does that look like to you? Time for
So
yourself?
for me, my priority will always be making sure that Abby gets some kind of time to herself. Whether I take the kids with me a day for work or when I get home, I get them out of the house so she can have some downtime. For me, it's just taking a walk outside, getting my feet in the grass and having some alone time, some prayer time, and just being intentional with making sure that I'm rested up and I'm able to give my all to my family.
Yeah, I agree. Good advice. I don't feel overwhelmed at the thought of 5 kids. If I had them all at once, I would, but it's like when you add one at a time, it doesn't ever feel like that much, you know?
Right.
But I think if I'm overwhelmed about anything, I think I'm just completely in denial that we're about to be in a baby stage again, because like by the time she gets here, it'll be almost like 5.5 years since I've had a newborn. And even my midwife is like, so how are you feeling? Like, what are you doing to prepare? And I'm like, oh, I found some wipes. I follow some like discount pages on Amazon or on Facebook, like Amazon deals pages. And so the other day I bought a box of baby wipes and I was like, oh look, I bought something for the baby finally. And then I bought a swimsuit, a matching swimsuit for she and Annie. And one of my girlfriends was like, listen, wipes and a swimsuit's all you need in the Florida summer. But I mean, I need to get with it. I don't know what I don't know like why I'm not, I think the other kids were all born like within 2 years of one another, and so I just kind of lived with the knowledge that I had from my first pregnancy, and I just lived in babyland.
Right.
And I guess I don't realize how long it's been. Like, I mean, 5 years might not be that long to some people, but after just like having so many kids in quick succession, going to like a 5.5 year gap feels like
It is.
almost
It's
like starting over.
having a newborn, like alone again.
Yeah, so, but with all the older kids this time who want to be so involved, so it's like I don't feel like I'll be drowning like I felt like with our first two, kind of like 2 under 2 almost, but I don't know. So to me, it's more like, I think I just need to like dive into my thoughts a little bit more and think about this, because there are certain things. I think we were at our church's Christmas Eve service, and there was a baby who kept crying, and I was just like, oh, like that stinks, those poor parents, you know, 'cause she was just crying. They had to get out of the auditorium. And then I was like, oh no, that's gonna be us next Christmas. So I just have forgotten all of those, like, even picking a place to go for our baby moon. I'm like, oh, is this gonna be our last chance to go to a bed and breakfast for a few years? Because we've gotten to kind of enjoy these baby-free years for a little bit longer than we did with the others. So I'm not overwhelmed by having 5 kids, but I think I'm a little bit in denial about having just another baby around. So, and I'm super in denial about labor. We were at our midwife's office the other day, and she had pictures up, and I saw this one picture, and I was like, oh, the Ring of Fire, John, let's go the Ring of Fire. Like, I got a little bit like, oh no. So, no going back now. Okay. Are the kids excited, and is Annie excited about being a big sister?
Yes, totally. I think Annabeth, she tends to have a draw toward any toddler or younger, and she is obsessed with having a baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's super stoked. The other kids are really excited too.
Yeah.
There was this kind of competition about who was going to get the 3rd bedroom. Yeah. Which is going to be renovated and become someone's own room.
It's our 4th bedroom.
4th bedroom.
Yeah.
So obviously, now having 3 girls, Bella won that contest. So I don't think Jesse was very excited about that.
That was the only disappointment, because he's so excited about it being a girl, but he had a moment of like, oh, I lost the bedroom. But I will say that because of the age difference, Bella naturally gets that room for it being a girl, so Annie and the baby will be together when she's older. But realistically, the boys are so close in age that I would be tempted to have made that like the little boy's room if it was a boy. So it was never truly clear cut what our plans were. Right. And still, that renovation won't be done for like at least a year, would you say?
Maybe 6 years.
Yeah, so we keep our babies in our room for so long because I just nurse. So
how many dads out there start a renovation who have multiple kids, and that renovation's still going on in stages 6 years later?
She'll at least have that bedroom by the time it's
Let me get some support.
Yeah, most people just hire a contractor, but when that's your own self, there's nowhere to go. Okay. So yeah, but yes, mostly Annie is so excited to be a big sister. Right. She's
pretty stoked.
She's obsessed. Yeah. With the thought.
All right, you're long-winded. Move on.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, have you chosen to decline any tests and received pushback for declining? My doctor is very pushy.
What was that?
Have you chosen to decline any testing and received pushback from declining? My doctor is very pushy. Do you want to answer, or you want me to answer?
You can answer. I have like a perspective on it, but...
Okay. Well, we switched to the care of a midwife for our last 2 pregnancies. And so she doesn't even really push for any testing.
I mean like genetic testing, or like testing to see if there's something wrong?
Just pregnancy testing. I'm assuming like pregnancy testing, newborn things. So we switched to midwifery care for the last couple pregnancies. So even with like, everything is just so, they ask for consent for everything. Like they, even when it comes down to like, do you want a pelvic exam? Like at my first appointment, like I hadn't had a PAP in a couple years. Like, do you want this? And like, even when she was I don't know if you noticed when she was like measuring the other day, she was like, okay, I'm gonna press on your pubic bone now. Like as she was measuring, like she gives you like informed consent constantly. So when it came down to like doing the progesterone testing, she said it's an option if you want it, but she left it up to me if I wanted to do it. Prior to that, we actually had a doctor who was really open to whatever we wanted to do as well. So we actually had, with the other kids, we had pretty decent experience as far as that goes. There are some hospital policies we weren't able to get around. Like I wasn't able to get around certain, you know, like the eye stuff they do. And I think that was the only one. And the vitamin K shot, I think were the ones that our hospital just, you have no say, but they did let us let the cord pulse. With one of the kids, they did kind of after they acted really awkward about it, allow the placenta to be viewed and come home. So, but no, when you switch to like a home birth midwifery care, I feel like it's just a completely different experience.
100%. I mean, exactly, like when you go through a hospital, you have to deal with the legalities that you know they have to abide by. Yeah, but I will say,
there are some things that are negotiable, so you don't have to. Yeah, but
what I was going to say
bottom line
is that when we took a Bradley class, that was one thing that the instructor had us do, was to find out the details about what our hospital may require and may not require. Yeah. And then you can actually make a list, like kind of like a birth plan, that you can actually hand to the doctor on staff or the nurses on staff when you go into labor. Yeah. We were encouraged to do that. And then, you know, if you want to have immediate skin to skin or, you know, whatnot.
Cord pulsing. Yeah. Those are things that I think they don't see super often. So. And
you may be viewed as one of those like extreme hippies, you know, but like.
But they leave you alone if you ask them to.
And it's your right. You have the right to ask.
Yeah. So like I said, but when it comes down to a couple things, we were warned against a couple non-negotiables, like, you know, just so you know, this would maybe be a reason that they would make a phone call you don't want them to make if you deny this or that. Right. So we had to be very wary of those things. Right. But yeah, my midwife, she doesn't push any testing on us that we don't want. My doctor really didn't either. I would say, like, when I suffered extreme like hyperemesis with one of my kids, that doctor wasn't very helpful with natural anything. He was like Zofran or nothing kind of a thing. And he did laugh at me once for asking if Zofran was safe. Yeah. Which I didn't appreciate, but that was my only negative experience with anything hospital. So, or doctor. And then our pediatrician is more of a naturopath who doesn't make us do any, you know, he's kind of like, oh, you're homeschooled. Okay, so there's no regulations on timing of anything. Yep. So he doesn't like push us at all. We just sign like a yes, you informed me that this is what you would recommend, and I can sign that, and then we're good to go. So we don't really get a lot pushed on us. Nursery theme. The nursery theme is it's baby number 5. We haven't done a nursery since Bella. I think after Bella, we were like, well, I keep this.
That's a sweet thought, though. It is a sweet thought. I mean,
I'm gonna get hives thinking about decorating something.
Honestly, though, like for real, like, oh no, we can't. No, we can't even consider it. And I think it is partially because, you know, if we had like one room dedicated to a baby, it may be different. Yeah. But, you know, that would mean we'd have to have like a 6-bedroom house.
That's probably why we hadn't done one since Bella. Bella had her own room, and we lived in this like condo. So when Jesse was born, he was in he had like this corner in our room, but then when he moved, two of them shared a room until they were like 2 and 4 when we bought this house.
Yeah.
And then when we bought this house,
Yeah.
we had a boy room and a girl room, and immediately put Eli in our room. I was pregnant with him when we bought the house. And then by the time Annie came around, it was just like there was no hope for her to have her own space. And I feel like after Bella, we realized just like I nursed for so long that it's like, like, I mean, Eli was pushing, I don't want to say it online. He was like pushing 3. And so John was like, yo, I think we're done now. Because he would say like, do you need coffee first? Before I would nurse him. He was an early speaker. So like, I keep them in our room as long as they're nursing. So
yeah, I don't know about this one.
they're like toddlers by the time they actually start sharing a bedroom and have a space of their own.
Yeah,
so.
we don't see in the Midwest. You may spend 300 or 400 grand on a 6-bedroom house. Here in Florida, that's going for like 2.4 million right now.
Yeah, well, on the beach where we live. Yeah, I don't even know in the Midwest. Everything's probably super. I mean,
Yeah.
super expensive. But my hometown was super expensive in the Midwest, so I don't know. But yeah, we cannot get more than a 4-bedroom house around here unless we're paying at least $750.
Yeah.
And that would be for about the same square footage as we have right now, but a different bedroom instead of our pool. So
Yeah.
we but also I like really believe in sharing bedrooms.
We are kind of going with a theme.
Are we?
Kind of like with the clothing you bought is like super earthy and pastel-y.
That's
I feel like
that's just the theme of me.
I feel like the nursery theme for the baby is Urban Outfitters.
The nursery theme is we're millennials.
I'm not that young.
Oh, close. We're grandparent millennials. What was I gonna say though?
Next question.
Do you not want to do this right now?
I'm trying to keep it rolling.
Okay.
I got great answers. There's no need to like expand on what I said.
Okay, I'm sorry, this is your Q&A. Oh, I love this one. Is John a rock star during labor and delivery, or does all of it wig him out? I will answer this first. John is a rock star. He even had our midwives crying at our last appointment, or the mom. She was crying when he was sharing our birth story. First of all, he shared our birth story instead of me with her, and then, because it's a different midwife group we're using this time. And it was just sweet. Like, he is so, and even they said, like, because I'll say, I'm like, I feel like I kind of like blank out and then I wake up and I have a baby. Like, I don't ever remember my labors very well. They're fast, but I'm not in like tons of pain. I just feel like I like close my eyes and then I have a baby. And even they were like, that's because you can like fully trust him because he's got it all under control. And it's so true. He is so, even when it came time to call my midwife last time, he called her because he knew that I was getting ready to like have the baby. And I was like, I can't believe you called her. And I like stood up and I was like, oh, I have to push. And he was like, I know. So he already had the tub going. He had already called the midwife. Like, and I didn't even have any idea that it was time. So he is super.
Yeah, that's super
labor
sweet.
rock star.
Thanks. But yeah, I told the midwives, it's like, I'm one of those people who, if someone's in pain,
Yeah.
like I feel the pain. So like, it's kind of selfish, but like, we have to stop the pain or like, I'm gonna die. So.
Oh, I see. So it's really about you.
It's a little selfish. No, that's part of it.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, honestly, I will say that the Bradley class really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And it helped me feel, and not saying that, I was told from these midwives that there's like a dad doula class or something, daddy doula or something. I don't know. I'm going to take it. But I feel like the more confident, sounds pretty cliche, but the more confident that you can be as a dad, even as a mom too, going into labor, the more you can kind of enjoy it and control what's going on. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, I agree. Your confidence definitely gives me a peace, which probably makes things a lot easier on
I'm
my
ready
end.
now. Let's go.
What has been your favorite part of this pregnancy?
So, you want my answer in this?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the platform. So, Abby and I both had said it was hard for us to really connect with this girl. Almost said her name. This girl early on.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe we were both kind of concerned because of the losses that it might happen again. Maybe we were apprehensive about wanting to get attached. But I really feel that like the ultrasound appointments have really helped, and then going to the appointments with the midwife has really helped with connection. So yeah, I would say the last appointment we had with, well, first of all, let me gloat a little bit and say, or brag and say, Abby is so cute when she's pregnant. The whole pregnancy glow thing, like that,
Oh
that's
my
her.
gosh.
She's so sweet. Like her cheeks get flush, her hair is like golden brown.
I'm gonna like,
golden
you're gonna
blonde.
literally make me blush. Stop.
And
Stop it.
She's just so cute. So I love pregnant Abby. And so that's been like my favorite part. Honestly, like when she is pregnant, I know this is long-winded, but I feel like we are more intentional with slowing down and trying to like enjoy our family and enjoy the time. Just being aware that there's a lot more going on than just normal life.
Yeah.
So long answer, but
That's sweet. I don't know what my favorite part of this pregnancy has been so far. I'm super thankful that I haven't been as sick as I was with any other pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I feel like to some degree I've been able to like enjoy this pregnancy. Once we got past like all the fear with the progesterone and all that, like I'm able to like organize closets and maybe do a little nesting earlier. Usually I am just so laid out sick, and then I'll get so sick that it'll cause like early contractions, then we're always having to monitor that, and like it's just, this time's different. And so I've been able to like envision and imagine and prep, and you know, I don't know, I just feel a little bit more connected to the kids this time. With previous pregnancies, I just feel like I miss my kids for 9 months, and that's always my fear going into each pregnancy too. Like, oh, I would rather have like a surprise pregnancy than plan it, because I just hate planning like a 9-month mom hiatus because I just miss them when I'm so sick.
right.
And so the fact that I've been able to like, I took them all to Target the other day to pick out little outfits, and they're so cute, and you know, just the fact that I'm able to continue doing life with the kids is super nice.
Yeah.
So I guess that, and she is such a kicker. So I've been able to like, if I'm laying down, we can see her kicking.
Oh yeah.
Since I've been like 18 or 19 weeks, you can like see like my stomach moving, and I have an anterior placenta. So she's like having to kick through my placenta, you know, like, you know, with that cushioning, you can still see it, which the midwives are like, she's another Annie.
Girl.
So,
She's got big feet.
she has really big feet. I put a picture on Instagram the other day. It's so funny. Do we have baby names selected? Yes.
Yeah. Can't tell you that.
Can't share. I mean, I'm super traditional in the sense of like, until we see her and officially give her the name. But also, this name is so important to both of us that I don't know, I feel like she needs to be here, and we need to give her her name and share it with the family, and then I'll share the whole story behind the name when she gets here. Okay. Oh, I'll answer this one. Will the baby's arrival and your recovery shift your homeschooling schedule year-wise? No, she's due in June, so that worked out great. I keep joking, like, she's already my favorite kid because she knew the perfect time to come, right after dance season ends, right after we finish the school year. So that's great. But I think it won't shift like when we normally start, but I think we may continue doing school until June this year. We usually finish in May, but I don't like want to start our 6 or 8 weeks of summer until she gets here, I think. So we'll at least continue doing like minor schooling, like math and silent reading, you know, until she gets here. But we'll see. Just so we can take as long of a summer as possible. Do you want to chip into the homeschool question at all?
Nope.
Nope. What little thing are you most excited about?
So, oh my gosh. I walked home today with a client, excuse me, who had her, it's like 2-year-old, just under 2, just learning to walk. There's like highlights from each age that's like my favorite. So like the newborns I love, they're so like, they smell so good. And I love Dreft. Dreft just smells so good.
I know.
And like, they just lay on you and sleep for hours. And you know, like the highlights, like 6 months is an adorable age. 9 months was my favorite age with like all our kids.
John's so cute. Like every time we see a baby in public, John is such an extrovert and I'm such an introvert. And so I'm like, I'll see a baby from a distance and I'm like, oh no, oh no. And he'll be like, are they about 9 months? Like whenever he knows it's like a 9-month-old, like around that age, it's his favorite. Like he really is his favorite. He'll be like, oh, that's my favorite age. Are they doing this yet? Are they doing that? Like
You sound like a creep.
No, it's just cute. It's so funny how like social you are and how you'll just walk up to anyone and I'm always like,
yeah.
I'll just take the kids and run away.
So I don't even remember what the question was, but.
Little things that you're looking forward to the most.
So yeah, just that. There's so many just sweet things about the baby stage.
I know.
You know?
I just love nursing. I look forward to that. I think I had told John the other day, like there is just a tenderness that enters your home when there's a baby there. And it's like people, it's kind of, I would say it maybe has to do with like this super fast-paced culture we live in. But whenever there's a baby in our house, I feel like the expectations are low from others and like we actually just get to enjoy all of our kids more because we're slowing down a little. Is Annie here?
Mm-hmm.
We're like slowing down a little, and so I look forward to that because it's just a precious season.
Yeah.
And I think even for myself, I recognize like what's the next most important thing, and then I can let other stuff go, and I have missed that in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we took an extended break because Annie got home from dance, but most importantly, Knott's Berry Farm cinnamon rolls. I used to live south of Miami in a town called Homestead. And there's this little walk-up stand. It's like a strawberry. It was just the tiniest strawberry patch back in like the 90s, but it might be bigger now. It seems like they're bigger, but we would always go after school during season and get a strawberry milkshake and a cinnamon roll.
Oh my gosh. Let's eat one while we talk.
And every year when they're about to close for the season, I panic and order some.
It smells so
There's
good.
honest to God, there is nothing more delicious than their cinnamon rolls. If you're from that area, then you know.
I enjoyed this about pregnancy too.
This is John's actual favorite part of pregnancy. No, I got 2 dozen. Is it 2 dozen? Yeah. 1 for now, and then I'm gonna freeze some as like midnight nursing snacks. So good. Which is the reason when I say like I love nursing our babies, it's mostly for the snacks. all the midnight snacks. Okay. I love this question because you just talked to our midwives yesterday about this. What will John's role in the family be for the first few months, and how will he help? And before he answers, I will give a disclaimer. He helps a ton, always. He's a super involved dad, so not a lot has to change. Like he definitely gives me space to just like take care of the baby, but if I need his help, he's right there, but he's got the other kids handled, which is super helpful. Right. But immediately following birth, like first few weeks, what is your role and how will you help?
Yeah, so we're already in agreement that the whole first week, Abby will be in bed, just recovering.
Yeah, it's kind of like most midwives' home birth rule is like
right.
Couch or bed at least 7 days.
Yeah, so Rizzo's barking.
It's fine.
But that'll be the first week is just Abby in bed resting, and then really I'm looking forward to it with the kids because I feel like
time off, like I know everyone's not granted time off, but since I'll have the blessing of being home, I'll really get to enjoy the time and be intentional with our other kids with the newborn baby.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like, you know, that they're not really getting, I'll be that kind of like the bridge between the baby and the kids.
Yeah.
While Abby's getting rest.
There is so much to be said about that too. Like, it is so helpful for him to take, like, for me to not have that on my mind and just like, because it's true. I mean, when there's a newborn, as long as like, you know, you don't end up having a traumatic birth or a C-section, you know, and are recovering well and nursing's going well, then everything, there's not like a lot hands-on that he has had to do with the other kids. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. Our 8-year-old got a bearded dragon and the dog just like saw him almost. I wonder if it was like the first time he's recognized him. Anyway, so I was just saying there's not like a ton that John has to do unless, you know, I just want like a night off of diaper changing, but I still have to wake up to nurse anyway. So him being helpful with the kids and like food is really helpful.
Yeah.
And just like, and he's just like the water cup go-getter when I'm nursing. Like, I'm dying of thirst, please go get me water. Okay. My battery has got a couple minutes left with it. So do you worry about the age gap with the kids? That's one of the questions. I think it's a sweet gap.
I think I have before, especially between the oldest and youngest.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe it's homeschooling that's made the difference in regards to their relationships. Because I'd seen age gaps with friends that I knew, but that was when we were in like the public school system.
Yeah.
Like, my brother is 3 years older than me, and so when I was in
That's like a
9th
lifetime.
grade, he was in 12th grade, and
Yeah.
we had 2 different lives with school. But Bella is in the same co-op as Annabeth,
Yeah.
so it's like they share life together. So I'm not really. I think that with them being homeschooled, it really changes. It's a game changer in regards to their relationship and the age gaps.
Yeah.
If that's what that person meant, was relationally between the kids.
Yeah. I think the only concern I have about the age gap is whether that's going to make you and I want another one.
I don't know, maybe.
Because I'm just so used to all of our kids being so close in age and kind of like in the same season. And so it does feel a little weird to have such a gap. And I'm like, is that going to be a sweet gap? Like, this is the baby of the family? Or is that going to be like, oh, just one more little pair for this one? Or I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We every baby since Jessie, so our second baby, we've been like, oh, this is our last baby. And now we have 5. So never really listen to us when we say we're done having kids. Okay, last question. What do the kids do during home birth?
It'll be an experience this time. The last time they ended up sleeping through. You'd gone into birth once, and then
Gone into birth. I'd gone into labor once, and so it was like a false alarm a few days prior.
Well, you dilated to like 7 centimeters.
6, yeah.
6 centimeters, and then her body stopped
Right. So they let me just sleep it off
for a week.
for a week.
And then when she actually went into labor, like legit,
Our boys didn't
go
believe
time.
us.
Well, and I think they were sleeping.
Bella came in the room. We have pictures of Bella behind, like we're holding Annie up and Bella's like in the background.
But so yeah, I think that's a good question. That's a topic for us to discuss.
The midwives make it a family affair if you want them to. So like the boys weighed Annie, they did her little birth certificate.
No, but she said
footprint.
labor.
What? Yeah.
Or birth. Did she
I
say
think
birth or
I think
labor?
I don't. I was like asked like 4 different ways from different people, so I was just kind of doing a general.
Yeah, but what about during labor?
So my midwife has given me resources to help prepare them if they want to be there for labor. Things they can do, say, help, things they shouldn't be afraid of if they hear me freaking out.
I can already tell you there's two of the kids who cannot be in there.
Yeah, Bella wants to take pictures, so that's gonna be great.
That would be really cool.
Eli is a really emotionally connected kid, so I feel like it's gonna be hard for him to not be hands-on with me.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's gonna be freaked out by me being in pain, so we haven't really crossed that bridge yet.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the midwives make them very involved in that first sacred birth hour right after they're born. The kids come in, it's a whole, they do the weighing, they do the cord cut. One of the kids cut Amy's cord.
Yeah, we went and woke them up immediately after Annabeth was born, and they were a part of the whole.
Yeah.
Sure, it was pretty incredible.
And there's, after that first hour, they don't touch the baby in a home birth. They let you have that sacred hour, and then they start weighing them and doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I knew my camera battery was about to die. I think I was in the middle of explaining that like birth hour and how the midwives give you that hour. And then the really sweet thing is just how after that hour ends, my last midwife did this, and my current midwife attended that birth because my last midwife was at another birth at the time, so I'm pretty sure they both act the same way, although I haven't asked her. They make a big deal about taking care of mom, so they'll like take me to the shower, they'll help me get a shower like right away, make sure I can stand up, make sure everything's good. And I remember them giving, with Annabeth, the kids some responsibility with you, like, you guys need to take care of your sister with daddy while we help mommy in the shower. And they kind of made it like a family affair. You would probably know more about that because I was in the shower. Do you remember that time at all, or is it kind of a blur?
It's a little bit of a blur, but I do remember Jesse helped weigh Annabeth with like the I forget what it is, like a manual.
Yeah, like scale thing.
Scale. One of them helped measure Annabeth, but yeah, they're very aware and conscious of involving the kids however they can.
Yeah, and I went to one of my girlfriend's home births with a different midwife, and they were the same way with her kids. Okay, no, you go get mommy a snack, go get her a nice snack with lots of protein, and you can sit here, lay here with sister while we take mommy to the shower. So I remember seeing that with another midwife too, so I think it's maybe common. Okay, that's all of like the main questions that we got without making this video an hour long. So thank you guys for hanging out with John and I. Thank you for all of your questions. Some of the questions started thoughts we hadn't really discussed yet, so that's good. And yeah, we will see you guys soon in another video. Bye guys.
Bye.